If you were president, would you work to phase out the IRS?
Immediately.
That's what they call a softball.
And you can only do that if you change our ideas about what the role of government ought to be. If you think the government has to take care of us from cradle to grave, and if you think our government should police the world and spend hundreds of billions of dollars on a foreign policy that we cannot manage, you can't get rid of the IRS. But if you want to lower taxes, and if you want the government to quit printing the money to come up with shortfall and cause all the inflation, you have to change policy.
Can you imagine how great a nation we'd have if we didn't have the Federal Reserve System printing all this money? And it goes without saying that when we have the proper size government and governments function in the proper manner, we certainly wouldn't need the IRS or the 16th Amendment.
I want to get rid of the IRS, I want to get rid of the income tax, but I want to reduce the size and scope of government to the point where we don't need the income tax. We didn't have an income tax up until 1913, and we did quite well. But since we've had the income tax, government has grown by leaps and bounds, and it has allowed our government to get involved in things that they shouldn't be involved, policing our personal habits, policing the economy, and policing the world. If you don't want the government to do that, you don't need the income tax. So a lot of people ask me, what am I going to replace it with? I don't want to replace it with anything. I want to reduce it. But the responsible question is that, what are you going to do about all the spending? And my answer is we should cut the spending. We just don't need to cut the spending, because when government's allowed to do this, they do a great deal of harm and they don't really help us. I want to release all the creative energy I can and all the productive effort of individuals that are free to pursue their own adventure, and we certainly need to get the government out of the way, and under those conditions you don't need an income tax. We should repeal the 16th Amendment.